Fans around the world are celebrating because Dylan, Wang and Shen Yue, the beloved stars who first captured our hearts on screen, have taken the most beautiful step of all. From co-stars to real-life soulmates. And today, we take you inside their marriage ceremony, a story so heartfelt, so tender, that it feels like a dream come true. It all began years ago on the set of Meteor Garden. Back then, Dylan was the fresh new face in the industry, tall, charismatic, and still adjusting to sudden fame. Shen Yue, already known for her sweet charm, was building her reputation as an actress who could bring warmth and authenticity to every role. Together, they became an iconic pairing. Their chemistry on screen was undeniable. But little did fans know, those sparks were more than just acting. For years, fans speculated, were Dylan and Shen Yue just friends? Or was something more blossoming between them away from the cameras? Neither of them ever confirmed the rumors. They smiled in interviews, kept things professional, and let the world keep guessing. But now, all the guessing is over. Because their marriage ceremony proves what so many fans had believed all along. This was never just acting. This was destiny. The ceremony itself was nothing like a flashy celebrity wedding. There were no stadiums filled with reporters, no grand red carpets, and no over-the-top decorations. Instead, it was quiet, intimate, and deeply personal. Held in a secluded garden surrounded by tall trees and gentle candlelight, it felt more like a secret haven than a public event. The guest list was short, only family, lifelong friends, and a handful of trusted colleagues. The kind of people who knew them not as celebrities, but as Dylan and Yue. The garden was decorated with white roses, lilies, and baby's breath. A wooden arch stood at the center, covered in delicate vines and blossoms. Soft music played in the background, not from speakers, but from a live string quartet tucked away in the corner. The air carried the scent of fresh flowers, mixed with the warmth of late afternoon sunlight. It was the perfect setting, not for a show, but for love. When Dylan walked in, the atmosphere shifted. He wore a perfectly fitted black tuxedo, simple yet elegant. His usually playful demeanor was replaced with something softer, more serious. His eyes scanned the garden until they landed on her. And then, there she was. Shen Yue. She walked slowly down the path, her gown flowing behind her like a river of silk. Her dress wasn't the dramatic kind you might expect for a star. It was understated, timeless, with lace along the sleeves and tiny pearls stitched into the fabric. She carried a bouquet of pale pink peonies, her favorite flowers. Her hair was styled in loose waves, a few strands framing her glowing face. And as she approached Dylan, her smile said everything. The ceremony began quietly. The officiant spoke softly, reminding them that love is not about grand gestures, but about small, everyday moments. The way he helps her when she's tired, the way she laughs at his silliest jokes, the way they've learned to understand each other without words. Every line of the speech seemed written just for them. When it came time to exchange vows, neither read from a paper. Instead, they spoke from the heart. Dylan's voice was steady, but his eyes glistened as he looked at her. He said, "When we first met, I didn't know how much you would change my life. On screen, we played out a love story. But off screen, you became my best friend, my safe place, and the person who makes the world brighter. Today, I promise to protect you, to respect you, and to love you in every season of life." Shen Yue took a deep breath, her hands trembling slightly as she held his. She said, "I never imagined this path for myself. But then you came into my life, and suddenly, everything made sense. You make me laugh when I want to cry. You see me, not as an actress, but as me. And I promise to stand by you, to walk with you through every storm, and to love you with everything I am." By the time she finished, tears were rolling down her cheeks. Dylan reached up to gently wipe them away, whispering something only she could hear. The guests smiled, some tearing up themselves. Then came the moment everyone had been waiting for. The officiant said the words, "You may now kiss the bride." Dylan didn't hesitate. He stepped closer, cupped her face, and kissed her. It was not for the cameras. It wasn't rehearsed. It was soft, slow, and overflowing with love. A kiss that told the world, "She is mine, and I am hers. As they pulled away, Shen Yue leaned into his chest, and Dylan wrapped his arms around her. That hug, warm, secure, and unbreakable, spoke louder than any vow. Guests erupted into applause, not loud or forced, but joyful and genuine. It was the hug of two people who had finally found their forever. After the ceremony, the celebration continued with laughter, music, and heartfelt toasts. There were no flashing lights or microphones shoved in their faces. Instead, there were clinking glasses, shared stories, and quiet moments. One friend stood up and said, "I've known them both for years. I've seen their struggles, their sacrifices, and their dedication to their work. But today, I see two people who chose love above everything else. And that's the greatest success of all." For dinner, guests were served a menu filled with comfort foods the couple loved, simple dishes that reminded them of home. There was hot pot, dumplings, and sweet red bean desserts. It wasn't about impressing anyone. It was about creating a space that felt like family. Later in the evening, Dylan and Shen Yue shared their first dance as husband and wife. The music was slow, a gentle melody under the stars. They swayed together, completely lost in each other's eyes. At one point, Dylan whispered something into her ear that made her laugh, and she leaned her head against his shoulder. The sight was pure magic, like a scene from a drama, except this time, it wasn't scripted. It was real. As the night went on, more hugs, more laughter, and more quiet kisses were shared. The couple made sure to spend time with every guest, thanking them for being part of their journey. But every time their eyes met across the garden, it was clear, they only truly saw each other. The wedding ended not with fireworks or confetti, but with a soft lantern release. Each guest held a lantern, lit it, and sent it floating into the night sky. Dylan and Shen Yue released theirs together, their hands entwined. The lantern rose higher and higher, glowing against the dark sky, carrying with it the symbol of their new life together. For fans, the news of this marriage felt like the closing of one chapter and the beginning of another. From co-stars who once acted out a fairy tale, to soulmates who are now living one. It's the ending fans always dreamed of, but even better, because this time, it's not a script. It's not fiction. It's real. Their marriage is a reminder that love doesn't always need to be loud to be powerful. Sometimes, it's in the quiet promises, the gentle kisses, the warm hugs that say, "I'm here and I always will be." And Dylan Wang and Shen Yue's ceremony was the perfect reflection of that truth. So today, fans celebrate. Not just because two stars got married, but because two souls who were always meant to find each other finally did. From the first glance on screen, to the vows whispered in a candlelit garden, Dylan and